I thought about that too, but I'm like, you're -1 Kyogre. I just don't think it's worth it here. YouTube, today we're using a brand new team, and this team did win the Korean National Championship with Rotom Heat. If you do enjoy the videos, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. And you want to check out the details of the team down below in the description alongside the creator, and you can grab the rental code available on your screen. But let's get started and play some games. Mimikyu, Kartana, Calyx Ice Rider, Incineroar, Palkia, Zapdos. A fast mode on the Calyx Ice Rider teams is not something I would have expected here. Okay. Rotom Heat actually really good in this matchup. Rotom Heat Gastron is really hard for them to actually break through efficiently right here. I like the idea of either Dynamax, maybe Dynamaxing the Groudon, getting Max Quakes up for the Rotom actually seems really solid here. There's a lot I could really do with this team. The only problem is I would have to bring 3 potential. I want to bring 5 mons. That's the only problem. I want to bring 5 mons. I want to bring the Incineroar. I want to bring the Zacian. I want to bring the Groudon. I want to bring the Gastron. I want to bring the Rotom Heat. So this is actually kind of tricky. I feel like Incineroar is probably not as necessary, but it's really nice here, I guess. Maybe I guess I could play mind games. I guess I don't need Groudon theoretically. I could Quake with Gastron if I want to go with that game plan instead. It's not too bad. Yeah, I could see myself doing that. I think I'm going to go with Incineroar plus the Rotom Heat lead, and then have Zacian and the Gastron in the back. I kind of like that. Yeah, I could see myself going for like some specific baits right here, depending on what they lead here. Because if they lead Palkia and want to Dynamax, go for Spatial Rend or Max Dragon, I could see myself just hard swapping into Gastrodon, or I could see myself hard swapping into my Zacian even on the potential Quake right here. The only problem is, yeah, that is going to be a read here, but Incineroar plus the Mimikyu lead. Okay, so they're going to try to set up the Mimikyu, right? Or they're trying to set up the Calyx Ice Rider here, which is really hard for them to do. All right, I'll definitely take this. I have a really fast Incineroar, so I should be able to outspeed their Incineroar. So as long as this isn't like a hard swap from the Incineroar, which I guess they could theoretically do, I get a nasty plot off, and it's really difficult for them to actually handle. So I am going to go for a fake out into the... Should I taunt the Mimikyu? A lot of them run goggles now. Like, a lot of them are dropping Mental Herb. I guess I could just taunt right here. I might as well just try it. And nasty plot. They're probably just going to fake out anyway, I think. Or they parting shot on themselves, which is cool. So I am able to get a taunt off into the Mimikyu here. I guess if they do, I guess it's a little bit weird depending on what they do here specifically, but let's see. I do taunt the Mimikyu. Are you actually Mental Herb? You are actually Mental Herb. I'm actually kind of surprised. Okay. So they still carry Mental Herb. They parting shot out here, which isn't ideal. They target the Rotom, but I am at +1 special attack with the Rotom still, which is still pretty strong here. I do have Protect with my Rotom, and I do have a Focus Sash on Incineroar right here. So unless they know the team, they get Shadow Sneak Max Quake the Incineroar, I guess, which is a really aggressive read right here. Gonna see the Calyx Ice right there come out here. They could be trying to bait my Dynamax and trying to go back to Incin right here, which I could definitely see. So I'm just gonna protect Rotom here. I don't think they should Shadow Sneak ever into Hailstorm to Rotom, because I could just Dynamax and do like so much damage to them. So I wouldn't see that. I guess I could target my Incineroar though, so I might as well just go for a parting shot anyway into the Calyx Ice Rider. You know what? I think they're gonna attack here. I'm just gonna parting shot. I'm gonna Max Flare. I guess I should have Flare Blitzed. Flare Blitz would have been better here, but I am -1 attack, and then I lose my Incineroar for not much. Yeah, no, I'd rather just go for the Max Flare here. Max Flare still does a lot of damage here. Even if they bring out the Incineroar, it's still a pretty solid amount of damage to an Incineroar, and then I think Zacian can clean up in the late game as well, because they're playing super passively under the Trick Room. I think that's okay too. They do Dynamax here. It is going to be the Ice Rider, which is not too surprising. Okay, perfect. So this is a really good position for me, because my Rotom Heat's going to be in a fantastic spot to deal damage to this Calyx Ice Rider. Again, Incineroar was probably the only passive one, but the thing is that they play too passive by switching Incineroar and taking so much damage while Trick Room is up, and then my Zacian is still going to revenge KO everything outside of Trick Room once I get the right KOs, so, or the right damage at least. So we will Dynamax the Rotom Heat here. Rotom Heat's just so good right now, especially in this matchup. We won't even need the Gastron to absorb the Max Geyser, and we don't even have to worry about Max Geyser, which is really nice. So the only thing I'm worried about now is like the Palkia getting Spatial Rends off, and that's going to do a decent amount. But let's see here. A big Rotom. Shadow Seeker is going to come out into the Ice Rider, which is not too surprising to activate that policy. It should always be Quake into Incineroar. I don't have a swap for that Quake, unfortunately, but let's see what they decide to go for. Going to be, yep, the Max Quake here. Yep, no surprise. Unless they had some way of like getting my Rotom, yeah, into the Incineroar. But the Focus Sash really being helpful there. If I had Shucker Berry, I was not surviving this Max Quake. So it's really, really nice that I have the Focus Sash right here to secure that survival right here. Their special defense is going to increase, but my Rotom is still boosted. I guess I could have went for the Nasty Plot too, but I was just really worried if they just fired off a random Glacial Lance right there. Would have been terrible. But yeah, we are able to retreat to the Incineroar right here. We can go out into our Zacian or Gastrodon right here. Either one's kind of fine. I think I'm going to go Gastrodon here, so I can play mind games when they bring in Palkia about the Max Geyser stuff. But yeah, we'll bring out the Gastrodon right here. We'll go for the Max Flare here into the Calyx, which is going to do a lot. The really nice damage, and we get the Sun Up. Perfect. Okay. Nice, nice, nice. The next turn. I mean, I'm not KOing the Calyx Ice Rider because I think they're either gonna Quake or Hailstorm anyway, so there's not really that much of a change here. I might as well just go for Max Flare into the... Should I still target the Calyx anyway, or should I target the Mimikyu? Because breaking into the skies could be really important as well. I kind of want to go for the Max Flare here. Maybe, nah, I think I target down the Calyx this turn. I think if they Max Guard, it's going to be the next turn, if anything. I'm going to Max Flare the Calyx. I'm going to protect here. They could hard swap the Mimikyu here into like Incineroar, I suppose. That could be a play here. That could be a little bit troubling, but I still think Palkia is going to be really good in this endgame. Did he retreat the Mimikyu? This is going to be Incineroar. Yep. Okay. Makes sense. Okay. In the next turn, I think it's going to be Max Guard or something, but I don't need the Gastrodon to win, I suppose. We'll see. We are going to go for the Protect with our Gastrodon here, which is really solid. And a... Oh, they Max Guard this turn. Oh, I could have targeted down the Instant. Okay, that's not too bad. They're probably gonna always... I mean, I think I just Earth Power the Instant slot. Gastrodon should be slower than the Calyx Ice Rider. I don't think they're faking out ever, because if they fake out, I just go hard Instant, and then they don't really get much here. I think I fake out here. I Earth Power the Instant slot, and I think I just go for a Max Lightning, I suppose. Or Max Flare. I guess I could Max Flare the... I'm gonna Max Flare, actually. I don't mind the KO Gastrodon. Shucker Berry activated on the instant. They didn't go for fake out. I'm pretty sure this is parting shot always, or Snarl if they have it, I suppose. Earth Power going to come out into the instant. Nice, because like the Calyx is in range of Behemoth Blade anyway, and I'm pretty sure in the sun it will go down to Flare. They have Overgrow. Interesting. Okay, I could have went to instant. Well, they don't get Hail Up, and they don't get... Well, I mean, Hail didn't matter. I guess the only one that does matter is... Okay, that's unique. Not expecting that one. They have Max Guard, so I don't know what their last move is. I guess it's either Trick or Protect. So we saw Seed Bomb, High Horsepower. Okay, it is Snarl. All right, that's a little bit annoying, actually. Okay. So I am at neutral. Max Flare is going to come out. Their Calyx... That still does a lot of damage, actually, because of the sun. Okay. One more turn of Trick Room left, which I'm fine with. I go hard into Instant here, I guess. Yeah, I go hard Instant here. And I think I Nasty Plot and I fake out. I think that's fine, I'm pretty sure. Like, they can't really punish the Rotom right here. They could punish the Instant, I guess, but I don't really see how they're really getting a good punish right here. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna fake out Nasty Plot because I feel like Zacian next to Rotom Heat outside of Trick Room is really devastating for them. So I'm gonna go for a fake out into the instant slot, and I'm gonna go for a Nasty Plot. Then next turn, like if they protect Calyx, they're in a really bad spot. I guess if they go into Mimikyu here, like even if they go Mimikyu, I think it's fine. But I guess there are some things that could go possibly wrong depending on the situation. I think they have to make some hard reads right now. I don't think I have to make as many, but we'll see. I am trying to bait the potential either swap from Calyx here or them just attacking, which I think is safe as well. I also get the grassy terrain. I think Calyx is more inclined to probably just go for the protector swap out here. Instant, we're probably just going to stay in and probably just trying to parting shot out to reduce my Rotom's hit points, or not hit points, the amount of damage it could do. All right, they attacked with both. Actually, that's fine. I really don't mind that. Yeah, that's fine. They go for Lance. That's cool. Okay. I really don't mind this. I think Zacian just comes in and it's gonna have a fun time. That does so much to my Rotom, actually. What? Oh, they crit my Rotom. I was about to say that did way too much. Wait, no, that was my instant, right? I guess that was instant. Okay. Actually did more than I thought. That was like neutral Glacial Lance, but okay, we are able to get the nasty plot with Rotom, so now we are like plus whatever right here, and now this is where we could win or we could lose right here, and I think I'm ready to gamble right here. Trick Room is over. We go into Zacian. We are player of Zacian, which is actually really good here. We go for Behemoth Blade always into the Calyx slot, and we go for our T-Bolt always into the instant slot. Our Rotom should be faster than the instant, unless their instant is also turbo and lost like the speed type, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. We're going to go for a Behemoth Blade into the Calyx slot. We're going to go for a T-Bolt into the Incineroar. We are at +2, so we should be able to KO anything right here. I guess maybe the Palkia endgame could be a little bit scary, but it really just depends. Like, this endgame is going to be close, but we'll find out. If their Palkia doesn't have Protect and their Calyx doesn't Protect, though, this should be a wrap unless they make some smart switches here. They're going to switch out the Incin, which makes sense in a Mimikyu. That's fine. Okay. We know it's not a Berry, and nice. Okay, so a Behemoth Blade is going to come out into the Calyx, so Calyx does go down, and nice, and I am able to break the disguise, and I guess the upcoming turn is where it gets questionable, but Play Rough at neutral still KOs Palkia. Thunderbolt going to come out into Mimikyu. A Para would also make this really higher odds for us, but it's not necessary. Break the disguise. Sunlight fades, which is actually it doesn't really matter at this point. Okay, it's a gamble, right? I think it's instant coming in, and then it's going to be a mind game right here between Fake Out and oh, Kartana comes in. Was not expecting the Kartana to come out here. Okay, Kartana comes out. That's fine, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I guess this is kind of a weird mind game now. Player of KOs a Mimikyu at +1. It probably KOs the Incident. I guess there's some weird mind games here. I really want to call it a Mimikyu switching out into Incin. I really do. I think that's like their call. I'm gonna play rough here, and I think I'm gonna protect. Only if Kartana switches out to Incin, that's really bad for me. Or if they stay in with both, like I KO'd a Mimikyu regardless, so this should not matter too much. A Sacred Sword in my Rotom, which makes a lot of sense here. Okay. Play rough into the Mimikyu KOs. Yep. Okay. Actually, I'm really surprised about that play. Is that Sash Kartana? Because if it's not Sash Kartana, that play just loses to me Sacred Swording the Kartana, unless they're like Chople or specifically the other set that I mentioned. The instant was low, yeah, so it did go down to play rough. Okay, this is actually really close now. I was not expecting Kartana as the last Pokemon. I really was expecting the I was really expecting the what's it called? The Palkia. But okay, we'll double protect here. Always go for a double protect. It's optimal. If we don't get it, we don't get it, but now I guess this is questionable because I don't know if we're gonna win against the Kartana now. It's gonna have +1. Do we? Sacred Sword KOs the Incin, which I think it should at neutral here. And then, depending on the Kartana ranges here, this is going to be really close. Everything comes down to does Kartana two-shot us? Grassy Terrain disappears, which is bad for us. We would actually like the Grassy Terrain because it helps us more than hurts us here. Okay, let's find out. Zacian, you have to KO the Incin first. If we don't KO the Incin, we just lose. But I'm pretty sure we KO at neutral attack at 50%. Like, I'm pretty confident in this. Wait, it's Scarf. I was not expecting the Scarf. I guess that explains a lot. Oh, I guess that explains a lot then. Because if it's Scarf... Oh... I don't even think I KO at neutral. Maybe I do, but I don't think I do. I don't think I even survived the Sacred Sword to +1. Because it's adamant, I think, and not jolly. Oh, dang. What went wrong there? What went wrong? I guess it was like... Endgame wise, I was not expecting Scarf Kartana to anything. I thought it would be like the Assault Vest Kartana. I thought I was able to position okay. I guess just a taunt turn one. I really didn't think it was going to be like... I thought it was going to be Goggles because I really think Amoonguss would have screwed them up potentially. So I thought, okay, since they didn't have a Feeny, I was like, okay, I think it's more likely to be Goggles. They've been dropping a lot of Mental Herb recently, but that one ended up being Mental Herb, and then it just like really cost me because I guess I should have taunted the Ensign. If I taunted the Ensign, it was a little bit better. I guess that would have put me in a better spot because then I could party shot the Ensign the following turn and then like nasty plot with the Rotom. I took a lot more damage from the Calix Ice Rider than I was expecting with my Rotom right there. Yeah, oh yeah, because it got the boost technically from KO my Gastrodon, even with the Intimidate and the parting shot I got earlier, so it was like +1. Yeah, so I guess I kind of miscalculated damage on that. Position wise, I felt like it was pretty good for the most part. I guess maybe I could have faked out the Calix Ice Rider and nasty plotted. I don't know. The thing is, my Rotom was always super low, but I guess I could have just faked. I guess fake out was technically better into the Calix Ice Rider. I would have taken all that damage on Rotom, and I think Rotom would just won, but I didn't expect Kartana in the end game. I really thought it was going to be Palkia, and I thought like, okay, I'm set because -1 player up doesn't or a neutral player still KOs the Palkia regardless. I just position, I think, into a fine enough spot to isolate the Palkia, and I should have this, but no, Kartana ended up being like a really big game changer there because it actually ended up screwing me over quite a bit there. Lunala, Groudon, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, Venusaur, Charizard. This team's been doing pretty well recently. I believe it did win. It did win the Vancouver Regional Championship, and I think it just won a national championship. I'm pretty sure it was the Thailand National Championship it won just recently. All right. Matchup wise, what do I want to go here? Lunala, not exactly amazing. My Groudon Shadow Claw, right? Shadow Claw Groudon's actually really good in this matchup. It is. Okay, perfect. That's actually really good. Not Stone Edge though for hitting Charizard, so we have a weaker Rock Fall against it, which isn't ideal here, but still manageable. Still manageable. I mean, I want to go Instant Groudon here. I'm pretty sure. Thundurus could definitely do a lot of work here. I could see myself playing Thundurus, but I'm just not sure. I like Instant Groudon a lot though, and I like Rotom Heat too. It really does put on a lot of hurt here against a lot of my opponent's potential Sun leads here. Maybe I go with like, I think Instant plus Groudon just makes a lot of sense to me lead wise, and then afterward the Rotom and the Zacian in the back. I want Zacian. It's not even that good against my opponent's team, but it also like hits the Grimmsnarl, but also the fact that it just is a rock resist, I think is why I'm bringing it, and it's better than Gastrodon into my opponent's team, I suppose. Being Blade can still do a lot of damage, and Sacred Sword can obviously hit the Incineroar, though it's kind of weird not having a really good, I mean, Rotom Heat I guess can swap in to the Flare Blitz and the fire moves, but I will find out because this matchup is tricky. It really just depends on can I waste their Meteor Beam and who they decide to Dynamax, because that's going to be a big one, especially if that Groudon's going to be like a Swords Dance or a Bulk Upset. I guess this could be concerning. I did lead Lunala plus Grimmsnarl, which is actually pretty good for me, as I do lead my Groudon plus my Incineroar right here, and I think I would go for Meteor Beam turn 1 if I'm not mistaken, but we'll see here. I'm going to go hard Zacian. I'm just going to go for Precipice Blades, try to get some damage off into these Pokemon, break that Shadow Shield on Lunala. And yeah, I don't want to reveal Shadow Claw just yet, and they might also like hard swap into one of their Pokemon, like their own Groudon. So yeah, I think this is probably Reflect here and probably Meteor Beam. I'm going hard into Zacian. I'm going for the Precipice Blades right here. Only things that could screw me over are like fake Tears Moongeist Beam, which they don't run on this team. But yeah, we are going to go hard into Zacian here on hopefully the Meteor Beam, and then we can punish it afterward with Shadow Claw into the Lunala right here, and the Precipice Blades afterward into the Grimmsnarl, which would be really nice here. Let's see. We already see Reflect, which is not too surprising here. It is going to boost up their defenses, and I want to say this Meteor Beam. Yep, perfect. Okay, they're faster than my Groudon. Okay, interesting. So this is Meteor Beam coming out into my Zacian, I want to say. I would be very shocked if this was into the Groudon slot after all. Does fire off the Meteor Beam, does connect, should be into the Zacian. Zacian should be able to eat this up just fine. Yeah, we take it pretty well. Perfect. Hit the blades on the both. Nice. Okay, really good. I just want to proc anything if they had like an adjust button Grimmsnarl for some reason, but yeah, it ends up working out perfectly. Okay. A really good turn 1 here. This second turn is a little bit questionable because I don't know what I want to do here. I could go for the Max Phantasm, which is of course a really strong play here potentially. Or do I want to just like hard swap into... I don't want to use my Sash on Instant yet. I think I just Behemoth Blade, and I think I Shadow Claw. Or I Max Phantasm. Max Phantasm seems really good here. I could also double up the Lunala here, I suppose, which isn't a bad play as long as they don't go Instant and Protect here. But I think that's actually a really solid play here. Because if they Dynamax the Lunala, I don't want that happening. So they do switch out the Grimmsnarl. Is this into Incineroar? Yeah, okay. Do they protect Lunala, or if they Dynamax? If they Dynamax, I think this is a really good spot because I feel like Behemoth Blade plus Max Phantasm is going to do a lot. I don't know if it KOs, but it does a lot of damage regardless. I also get the defense drop on both right here. Let's see. They don't Dynamax Lunala. Okay, if this is protect, I mean, if it's protect, it's not too bad. I got the Max Phantasm off of Lunala, and they gotta respect Quake as well as Behemoth Blade. So yeah, there's still some things that are beneficial here. We Dynamax our Groudon. Let's see here. The big thing is that they wasted their Meteor Beam, which is really good here. The thing is, I haven't used their Dynamax yet. I'm pretty sure they did protect. Yeah, okay. I could have punished it a bit more by going for like Sacred Sword into the thing and maybe a Blades, but wasn't sure if the Lunala was going to attack or go on the offense right here. But I do get the Max Phantasm off, so now they should fear my Groudon right here onto Lunala. So I don't think they're going to ever Dynamax Lunala anymore because they probably are worried about me KOing them. They could switch out the Lunala, but the thing is, it's really passive right here. I really want to punish the Instant if I can, like a KO into Instant with Sacred Sword into a Quake seems really solid. And boosting up the special defense isn't bad either, so I think I'm going to take it. I don't know if they fake out plus Moongeist Beam here. I don't think it KOs my exhaustion anyways, so I don't think I'm like too worried about that. So I think I'm just going to go for attacks right here. A Lunala just not in the best spot to really do damage to me, and I'm kind of okay with this trade right here. I think like it's a really solid position for me because as long as I can beat their Groudon with like my Rotom Heat in the back, I think I'm good. I just got to break through the Lunala Instant, I think, which is the big ones right here, as well as the Grimmsnarl if it's a trick set. If it's a trick set, I do have to break through it because I don't want to trick in my Rotom on Iron Ball. Sacred Sword, no protects. Okay, nice. So Sacred Sword into the Instant, really solid damage there, even through the Reflect, and Moongeist Beam comes out into Groudon. We take that very, very nicely, and a Max Quake. Sugar Berry Reflect at -1. I have no idea if we're KOing this Instant or not, but let's see. If we do, fantastic spot. If not, I'm pretty sure we're not, but oh, we do. Is that crit? No, it's not crit. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, really good knockout on Instant. No more Intimidate I have to worry about. We get +1 special defense for both Pokemon. Looking really solid. I can Phantasm the upcoming turn into the Lunala, and yeah, that's really big because it sets up for a Zacian endgame upcoming. So this is really good. Yep, amazing spot. My only concern is if the Groudon starts going for the bulk ups. If it is a bulk up Groudon, I don't know. The Vancouver one, that Gavin one, ran bulk up, but the other ones I don't know. They sit in Grimmsnarl actually, which is actually really good for me. I'm gonna go for the Behemoth Blade. I'll take the knockout if I can. All right, Behemoth Blade into Grimmsnarl, Phantasm into the Lunala. I guess they're trying to set up for the end game with their Groudon right here, but I don't think they're gonna have enough turns to set up for a good end game. We'll see. They protect Lunala, which is cool because I get still really strong hit off. They go for a trick into my Groudon, so gets rid of my Assault Vest, gives it the Lagging Tail. That's fine. Behemoth Blade is going to come out into the Grimmsnarl slot, which is going to be able to pick up a knockout here. So nice. That's a good Pokemon to get rid of. No more screen, so no light screen is actually pretty huge here. I want to go... I want to protect. I think I just want to protect, right? A Phantasm going to come out into the Lunala. Okay, unless we get super unlucky these upcoming turns, I think we're fine. I just gotta make sure that I'm set up properly. It really depends on the Groudon set. If it's Swords Dance, I'm not too worried, but we'll see. The Groudon's gonna come in. It really depends on this Groudon set because that's really what's gonna clutch it here. My Groudon should be fine to take on the Lunala, I think. I think maybe my safest play is probably to actually just go Instant here. I think it's go Instant and Shadow Claw the Lunala, and I think I'm going to make that play. I don't want to miss the Lunala ever, and if they Blades Moongeist Beam at my Groudon, I think I do survive because of the +1 special defense and Max Quake alongside this Intimidate coming up. Unless it's White Herb, it could be White Herb. There's so many different items on Groudon that I'm not too sure. If it does, then I fake out into Zacian. Okay, they don't have White Herb. Okay, so they Dynamax immediately, actually. I'm surprised. Who are they Dynamaxing? Because I was not expecting to Dynamax immediately. Is this Lunala for Phantasm combo? No, it's a Groudon. Okay, that's actually more ideal. All right, what are you going for? Max Quake and Zacian? If we Max Quake and Zacian, I have a Sash. I KO the Lunala unless you double up in my Instant or my Groudon, I guess. Let's see. They go for the double. Okay, perfect. Thankfully, they went for the double here. They went for a Max Quake. Who are they targeting? They targeted down my Zacian. Okay, yeah, that didn't really matter too much. I had the Sash anyway. So next turn, I would pivot into Rotom, I think, afterward. So this is really solid. I'm just going to go out into my Rotom upcoming. And then I guess we go for Fire Punch for the burn on the Groudon is to play. Yeah, that's what we do. Shadow Claw and Lunala. We also had, again, a Zacian. We were stalling out their turns of Reflect. They're still really solid for us. They wouldn't get Trick 'em Up. And yeah, now this is a pretty safe, just hard swap. Or Parting Shot here. I guess like a Parting Shot, but they do have a chance to just target down my Instant. Yeah, Reflect is over now. So I am going to hard swap here into Rotom. I don't care if they Rock Fall on the read. If they Rock Fall on the read, that's kind of a waste here for them. I'm going to Fire Punch. Go for that burn. They're going to forfeit because they kind of realize that I don't think they could solo 4 Pokemon with Groudon. I mean, they could, but it depends on who I ended back. And a lot of my back Pokemon were just, I think, pretty good to deal with the Groudon. Especially if I got multiple Intimidates and the Zacian's still very healthy and they can't knock out the Zacian unless they get some incredible crazy luck right there. Might have been just the Assault Vest to Groudon at that point. But yeah, able to position really well. Rotom Heats would have been really nice for that end game, but that Dynamax Max Phantasm Groudon, of course, it's still really strong. And that was kind of the thing about Rinya's Sun in the early days, like the Phantasm with the Zacian combination, which it wasn't on the original, but a combo that was later like used on future Rinya's Sun teams after the initial release. It was so good for Phantasm combinations. I think it's just a really cool tech right there because I'll be able to hit an opponent with a Behemoth Blade while they're -1 defense and like the blades, like the Max Quake we saw into the Instant, the double up there from the Max Phantasm, which is so huge there. The Sacred Sword actually did more damage than I expected. I guess they were especially defensive, which was really nice for me because Sacred Sword doesn't take it to affect the defense drop on the Instant. So being able to get that defense drop into the KO on the Instant was just beautiful for me. Zacian, Landorus Fairing, Kyogre, Regieleki, Whimsicott, and Ferrothorn. What do I want to go against this kind of team? A Rain. We do have the Sun and Thunderous, which is actually pretty nice here. And they do have to respect Gastron. They actually don't have the best Gastron Pokemon. But this is kind of concerning because Ferrothorn I have to respect too. It's not exactly an easy Pokemon for me to deal with, especially Eleki here. Eleki is actually really annoying. All right. I think I want to go, what do I want to go? There's like a lot of combinations I could see myself bringing. Thunder is of course just really good against their team, but the thing is, if I don't know if I am going to be able to position it well or not. I think Instant plus Gastro probably is okay here, or I think Instant Gastro is probably fine here. With Zacian and Groudon? Rotom Heat I would like for the Ferrothorn, but I don't think I could bring it here. And then Thunderous, not really as much here. Let's see how this goes. But there's like a lot of things that could just screw me over. That's my issue. There's a lot of things. Ferrothorn endgame looks pretty tough. If I don't have, if I didn't fire move it earlier on, then I'm gonna have to rely on Zacian's Sacred Sword, which isn't the worst, but it really depends. If it has a grass move, but the Whimsicott probably has a grass move. Whimsicott Landorus, okay. Let's see what they're okay. Instant Gastron here. I mean, let's see, what item are you first of all? White Herb, because White Herb is a pretty big one. I just don't know the information here. Intimidate onto both right here. If you're White Herb, that makes it harder. If you're not, it makes it easier. It is not White Herb actually. Okay, I could Fake Out and Yawn. I don't think they Dynamax the Whimsicott turn 1. I'll tell you that much. I have a Sash on the Instant, so I can play a little bit aggressive, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna Fake Out and Yawn, I think. I'm gonna Fake Out Yawn. I'm gonna see what the Whimsicott does. If it's double protect, that's fine. We're gonna see the protect from the Whimsicott, which is not too surprising. Are you protecting with the Landorus too? No, you're not. Is this Sword Stance or Earthquake right here? Either one's fine. They Earthquake immediately. Okay. Don't mind that too much. I'd imagine the Landorus wants to switch out afterward, unless it's a Lumberry set, but I think it's Life Orb probably. That damage looks like Life Orb, I think. Yeah, it is. Okay. That's pretty good. I got to Yawn off into the Landorus, and next turn, it really just depends. I kind of want to go for the Flare Blitz into the Whimsicott and Hearts, or Parting Shot the Landorus. I guess Parting Shot the Landorus is probably safer and just go hard Zacian. Yeah. I kind of like that because I think Landers is forced to swap. I don't think you want to stay in with the Landers. It does so much work here. The only problem is I don't know what Whimsicott's doing. I feel like it's either energy balls or tailwinds here. Most likely energy ball. And Lander switches out to someone like Kyogre. Or Zacian. That's kind of my expectation right here. If I'm able to get my Zacian in a really good spot, I feel like it's really strong for me to push an advantage to like maybe KO the Whimsicott early. So the Gastrodon does even better. But of course, it's a lot easier said than done. They self-earthquake. This is actually kind of weird, but I don't think they're going to do that. The Landers falls asleep. The Whimsicott Sash is broken. I don't think that's like your play here. Yep. So we see the swap here into the Kyogre. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, perfect. I can get Groudon next to Zacian, and that's a pretty strong spot. Okay, beautiful. And then I could probably play aggressive because they're probably going to like Hailstorm or something. All right, nice. Okay, into my Zacian right here. Get the attack drop. I also get a parting shot off into Kyogre. I just don't know if they're maxing the Kyogre or they're switching out. Probably swapping out, I would say. They do Tailwind here. Okay, perfect. The parting shot was the right play here into the Kyogre and getting Zacian here. That's really good here. I want to say it's Groudon in and then afterward. That's where I'm questioning here. That's where I'm questioning. I do want to get into Groudon here. I could go Gastrodon and bait the energy ball, but I just don't think that's worth it. I think always just getting the sun up is right. So this should always be a Landers coming in, probably for the Kyogre slot, and I want to Fire Punch the Whim slot. Or do I want to swap here? Because I could swap. I see myself swapping here. Like going instant isn't bad here, because I think they're either going to Hailstorm or they're going to swap anyway, and probably protect the Whims here. I'm going to Behemoth Blade and swap to instant. I think I got to make really aggressive plays here. I don't think my position is like super good against this kind of team. Like right now, this turn is amazing, but my next turn could be awful. They actually stay in. Okay. Instant is coming in. I don't know if I like this because if I lose my instant, I do lose my Intimidate. Okay, what are they going for? They Dynamax the Kyogre? I thought about that too, but I'm like, you're -1 Kyogre. I just don't think it's worth it here. Because, like, if I Dynamax the Groudon, you're in a terrible spot. This has to be Hailstorm, though, right? Unless it geysers my Groudon, which, if I had to they could be Energy Ball catching me, actually. I guess that makes sense. If you Energy Ball Geyser, that actually makes plenty of sense. No, they Helping Hand here. Is this Helping Hand Hailstorm? Is this Helping Hand Geyser? It geysered. Okay, I could have went and Gastrodon. Unfortunate for me. Okay. They target the Instant. Okay. All right. I mean, they Dynamax the Kyogre, though. It's not like they Dynamax the other threat. So I guess it's okay. Like, I guess I don't mind this. I was more worried about Dynamax Landers in the late game than anything. So I'll take this. I mean, this is a huge Behemoth Blade I'm going to be firing off here into your Kyogre. The only problem is my Dynamax is a little bit weird. So I get a Behemoth Blade off into Kyogre. Really good damage right here. Nice. And then afterward, we're going hard into Groudon, right? We're going hard into Gastrodon right here. I mean, I need to Intimidate for their Zacian, but I mean, I guess Groudon could just win now, theoretically. I'm just protecting, and I'm going for the Behemoth Blade into the Whimsicott slot. If this is Energy Ball, that's fine. I don't know who I'm Dynamaxing yet, because I might want the health on Groudon, but I haven't decided yet. I mean, Protect is just such a safe play on this Gastro, and they can't really punish it unless they help me on Lightning, but that even then, it doesn't do that much damage to my Zacian, so I think it's fine. The Kyogre is really not doing any damage. Like, even with the rain up, it's because the Gastrodon was Storm Drain alongside the combination of the parting shot from earlier is huge. They go for a Helping Hand here, so what are they going for? I guess they're going for the Lightning play? Or are they going for Hailstorm and they just don't have it? If they went for Hailstorm here, it's beautiful for me. I just get the KO into there. They actually did go for Hailstorm. I'm actually really amazed here. Okay. Into the Gastrodon, which is going to be able to not pick up the knockout. That's beautiful, actually. That's like really good for me. Okay. That's a really good for me. As I'm able to get the hail, I get the Behemoth Blade off in the Whimsicott and I just KO with the hail. So that's amazing for me, actually. All right, here's a Behemoth Blade into their Whimsicott slot. It is going to pick up a knockout right here. Even if it's Sash, they set up the hail for me. I'm actually very surprised that they made that play. They think I was going to hard swap into Groudon, I guess. But even then, if you had Energy Ball, you just go for Energy Ball here. And I feel like the Whims should have Energy Ball on this team, right? There's like no way you don't have Energy Ball on a Whimsicott Kyogre team with no other grass types. Like, I don't think you're ever running Moonblast over Grass move. because you're just gonna lose to Gastrodon in this kind of spot where you could just energy ball and like Hailstorm or energy ball lightning even would have been a like a reasonable play here. And it's gonna come out, which is not too surprising. Okay, I mean, it's not over. Dynamax Groudon though is really good in this endgame. So I just go for a last turn Tailwind, right? It is last turn Tailwind? Yeah, it is. Okay. So I go for an Ice Beam and I go for Protect, I think. If they self Earthquake into a Hailstorm, that's fine. Because I can't really risk my Zacian here. And I don't want the health on Groudon because Groudon's going to be my max Pokemon here. But even if they go for Protect, Landorus, do something with Kyogre, unless they Strike, I think I'm okay. Yeah, we protect our Zacian here. No protects on the Landorus or the Ogre, it looks like. So this is self-Earthquake. They do a lot of damage to their own Kyogre to where Max Quake's going to punish it later. So I'm completely okay with this trade. They do Earthquake, does a lot. Did they even KO my Gastrodon? Probably with a Hailstorm at -1, I'd imagine. But this should be... You target my Zacian, why? Why would you target my Zacian there? Wait, no, you're just losing now. Because I get the Ice Beam off into the Landorus. Okay, did they misclick or was that supposed to be a Groudon read? Because I don't know, like... Protect was something on the board for my Zacian. Stalling out the last turn, Tailwind was a play. I'm just trying to figure out, like... A Groudon read, I don't think I have to make it there. That's the thing. Like, I just don't feel like... Because, like, if I get Hailstorm and Earthquake from Life Orb, it's going to do a lot of damage. And then my max options are pretty bad. So I felt like I had to just stay in and protect. Zacian's going to come in for their side, but I think I just win at this point. I'm, like, pretty sure I do. I mean, I could get, like, pretty unlucky. But I think I just Sacred Sword to Kyogre should finish it from this range. Depending on who's faster, I guess. But even then, like, even if I guess, well, Behemoth Blade has to KO my Zacian first of all. I guess I could just Protect. I mean, Protect is probably super safe and just Sacred Sword. I guess if they Protect Kyogre and Behemoth Blade my Zacian, I mean, I feel like I go down the hill anyway, so it really shouldn't be that big of a difference. So we Protect here. We're going to see they are faster. They get the Behemoth Blade off. Does a KO? Probably. I don't think I'm the bulkiest Zacian out there, so depending on like how offensive their Zacian is. Okay, they don't. Nice. Let's take a sword into the Kyogre, and I think I just win by clicking attacks at this point. Yeah, Kyogre is eliminated, and nice. We can click Behemoth Blade into Earth Power into... We have Dynamax on our Groudon at full HP, so we can just go for that. And ooh, okay. This could have been a rough game. I had to make some really aggressive reads here because of like the composition. Because Landorus Variant alongside Kyogre with Zacian, like it has a lot, and Whimsicott. It just has a lot of ways because normally how I'd bulk the Landorus plus the Zacian plus Kyogre is with Gastrodon, but because of Whimsicott that I want to say has a grass move. Unless the Ferrothorn was like grass move, I guess. But I feel like most Ferrothorns are Iron Defense body press anyway. So I don't know if that Whimsicott had a grass move. I guess they wanted to damage through Hailstorm to protect. But yeah. Overall, I think I was able to like put myself in a really good position to turn one yawn. I think the parting shot forced the Kyogre in a really bad position. I think it was just really strong for me, and I was just able to seal it from there. I don't think I could possibly lose this, even if they get triple protect with this Behemoth Blade damage. Because this should be like, I want to say it's like 40-ish%. Or even more. Okay. Oh yeah, it's a fast Zacian, so it's probably not bulky. Like, I get 2 Quakes off into the Zacian. There's no more Sun left, so I should be able to KO their Zacian. Behemoth Blade crits. Probably doesn't knock out Groudon, but even if it does, my Zacian should just finish off their Zacian with Behemoth Blade then at that range, I want to say. And if they just Protect stall, they're getting destroyed by Mass Quakes through Protect. So I think that no matter what, there is no lose con here. But yeah, Behemoth Blade into Max Quake. I will Dynamax, even though I could just Fire Punch realistically, and it probably would save the time difference. I do expect a forfeit here. But if they don't, I mean, we get to sit here, see this animation real quick, as the Groudon never got to play really until now. But yep. Able to pick up the win. Ooh, again, I feel like my first couple turns were super solid. I got them into a really strange spot, but of course it did work out because of their sets. If they were like White Arm on the Landers for say, the game could have gone a completely different way because the damage from the Landers would have done a lot more. And the Life Orb chip, for instance, I would have maybe been able to put in Behemoth Blade range to threaten it. Of course, I did KO with the Ice Beam. But yeah, the double up, I think, into the Zacian just really screwed him over. Because my exhaustion, like I was just expecting the Gastrodon to go down there. I bring in the Groudon, I max crank the Kyogre, I beat him, played the Landorus. The Landorus is taking chip from the Life Orb plus the Hail. I think I should have been finding that spot to just seal up the game there, but because of that, like I didn't even have to Dynamax and bring in my Groudon in the end game. And that is the show overall. Like I mean, really it just felt like I was playing like the standard Sun team, but Rotom Heat, of course, a really interesting addition. I think it would have came in way more handy if we faced a bit more of the Charizard and the Venusaur teams out there. But surprisingly, I feel like in the last couple of episodes that I've been playing, I have not really faced many like strong committed Sun teams, which is crazy because a lot of this Sun teams have been doing really well at the event. So I'm actually really surprised, but maybe we're going to see a little bit more counter team in play. But if you did enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like down below, leave a comment down below. It really does help me out. If you want to check out the details of the team and the creator down below in the description, grab the rental code on your screen and you can check out the rest of my series 12 content. Raised a lot of cool teams and a lot of fun Pokemon. But that's going to be it for me. Have a great day, people. And until we bow again, I'll catch y'all later.